Memes are pretty much internet culture at this point. They are everywhere. They are abundant and they spread like wildfire. But this doesn't mean that memes can't be complete cancer. The thing about memes is that, like everything, they can be extremely varied. To me, the good and funny memes are the ones that are similar but still have plenty of variation and creativity poured into them, so that even though the same premise is repeated, it still has something new to show. Memes are still a large part of the internet, and on Deviantart, that's no different. Deviantart contains all sorts of varied illustrations of memes made by artists, many of them which are actually pretty impressive. So today I decided that we would be appreciating and reviewing some of this meme art and giving my commentary on it. So to begin, we have this classic meme. If you can't recognize this meme, here's a picture of its more popular version. When you look upon this piece, you really have to appreciate how detailed these things really are. Remastered versions of crude drawings are especially a favorite of mine, because I find it very fascinating to see how some artists redraw and interpret low-quality pictures in their own style. Another thing I enjoy is when artists put their own little twist on popular images. This one is especially impressive because of the convincing distorted anatomy and detail in the texture. So here we have a Pepe the Frog anime character, and of course this concept is nothing new. There are lots of people on the internet who like to turn random things into anime boys. For some reason. Hell, this same artist even made candy bars into anime boys. But I got to say, this one has a surprising amount of care poured into it. I also have to say that the, Pepe costume is a little bit creepy, but it's still an interesting concept, and I like the bright colors and lighting. Now this certain Pepe I especially like because of the stylistic approach to it. The cartoonish, detailed, and more polished version of an otherwise crudely drawn picture is something I really have to appreciate, and it brings a fresh take on a very recognizable image. The next few pictures are from a fairly recent meme, which is a phenomenon on YouTube where people take the "We Are Number One" song from an old TV show called Lazytown and edit it in various ways on YouTube. And while this meme has absolutely nothing of substance, it's kind of a guilty pleasure to me. And of course, people on DeviantArt have made several art pieces about it. This first piece is of a main character in the We Are Number One edits, Robbie Rotten, and I have to say the simplistic cartoon style and energetic pose really captures the flexibility and movement that Robbie Rotten actually conveys in the show. This picture has a surprising amount of emotion to it. Even though you can't see Robbie's face, you can still tell simply by his positioning that he is frustrated with his current situation. The coloring is also quite good. I feel like it gives off more texture and detail than the line work ever could. Sporticus x Robbie. Welp, looks like there's yaoi even in Lazytown. Like, this is actually a thing. It's hilarious. So here we have the obligatory Sonic version of the current media we are dealing with. However, unlike other crossovers, I feel like this actually fits pretty well, considering the exaggerated movement, ridiculous outfits, and bright colors. Sonic seems like something that would actually fit in with the style of Lazytown. And here we have the furry version of Lazytown, and this one is also pretty well done. The designs are unique and fit their characters, and the bright colors also adds to the overall atmosphere of Lazytown. Also, fun fact, Robbie Rotten actually has his own canon animated persona in the show. I thought that was interesting. And now we have a pony version of Stephanie. Well folks, we've already seen Sonic, furry, and pony versions of Lazytown. We're hitting every major fandom on DeviantArt. I have never seen a piece of media do that on this website so quickly before, and each of them has been of pretty high quality. surprisingly. Good job, Lazytown. Now, as much as I hate the Harambe meme, I still have to say that this is still a high-quality piece. Even though the meme is pretty much dead, you still have to appreciate the sheer amount of details in this picture. I would especially like to mention the flying bananas in the background. I thought that was a nice touch. Now, I have always been a lover of pixel art, and this piece is one of my favorites simply because of the aesthetically pleasing colors and shading. However, I feel like the face is a bit off when it comes to replicating the anatomy in the original picture. I feel like the mouth protrudes a little bit too much from the face, and the head could be longer. Now, this is a picture of another recent meme known as Biggie Cheese. Now, this meme is based off of, this thing, and if you want to hear the full story of why this is a meme, I'll leave a link below. So here is a, very interesting take on the character, and even though it is slightly rough in a lot of places, it is surprisingly accurate, actually. I just find it hilarious, really. Oh, I especially like that they had to draw an arrow with the word ass pointing to the butt cheek peeking out of his enormous stomach. That is a fantastic touch, my friend. Now, this is a more cutesy take on the character, but it's still fairly well drawn. The only other thing I would really want to see is a colored version of this. Anyway, my name is Solar Sands, this has been Browsing DeviantArt, and goodbye.